Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marcus, Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I want to thank you so very much for giving me this your time. It is a wonderful time. I want to speak to you this morning on a multiple subject, and I want to do it in such a way that they are connected. So I don't have the time or the process of editing so that you can break them up into little pieces. So I'm going to spend one block of time and talk about 2 or 3 different things. So understand that I'm not just trying to make you be listening to me a long time, because I know your attention span is very limited, and I know that you only want to listen to stuff that you want to hear. And usually the things that I've been talking about over the years have gotten little attention from you. So there's no doubt in my mind that you won't be wanting to hear all of this, but you might want to hear the parts of it. So you can, let me tell you what I'm going to talk about. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, here's the situation. For the latest couple of videos I've shared with you, I've indicated the health problems that I have been experiencing. And today I have another health situation that I will be going to the hospital for. I will be lying on a table with some people doing some things to my body that in most instances you are hoping that these guys are professional enough to do a good job and you get up off this table. However, occasionally some things do occur. In fact, I asked the doctor who's going to be working on my body what the chances are of me getting ticket out of here. In other words, dying on this table. And I was told that the chances are less than 1%. But less than 1% doesn't mean no percent. For some strange reason, this might be the time that I get out. So I want to share with you some things that are most important to me. Not that it'll do you any good, but it's a last ditch effort of Eddie Marcus trying to serve someone like you. And when I say you, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about my wife, I'm talking about my children, I'm talking about my extended family, I'm talking about my race, which is the human race. I'm not just talking about Minnesota, United States, I'm talking about the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get going there. I made a couple of notes here. And I want to refer to them. I have a subject list here called The World's Liar on Display. The World's Liar on Display. Somewhere I heard that there's nothing that's good about a liar. You can't trust a thing they say, and it is one of the worst situations you ever want to find yourself in dealing with a liar. Now we have someone, and many people across the world, who believe that lying is a strategy. It keeps your enemy off guard. You don't know what you're going to do. You say one thing, then you say another thing. So who are you? It doesn't matter to them that they are lying. They think they know what the lie is. As long as the lie they believe works for them, then that lie is okay. Lying to someone else is fine, as long as the lie works for you. So they need, and they have sought after, and perchance have found one of the greatest liars. One of the greatest liars, where you put on a podium and say, speak. And those who love the liar go crazy. Oh, because it doesn't matter what he says. They know he's lying for them. And those who know that this liar lies to work against them, it makes them sick. They watch the liars that they're working his lips, and they makes them want to puke. It makes their stomach growl. Now, many of you might think I'm talking about a political scene. And this affects the political scene as well. Happens regardless of whatever political party you're of, you all benefit from the same thing. Everybody is lying. Some people say, well, I don't lie like that. A lie is a lie. And it has the same consequence. It is a lie. A lie is the situation that would get you where you have to have security, the kind of security where you can walk out on the streets and you think a military coup is going on or something. You got all the weapons. Say, for instance, you got a football game that's going on, a thing where people are supposed to get together and have fun. Everybody is supposed to have fun. They had a little limitation where if you're winning, you try to have a little bit more fun. If you're losing, you have a little less fun. But how to have fun where the loser, and that nobody's a loser, but somebody might come over on top, but everybody's a winner. Oh man, they don't even want to hear that. Who wants a situation like that where there are no losers? Well, when you have situations like that, you end up with the possibilities of terrorism. Terrorism, see, because you're on the wrong road. And you walk out there rather going to a game, you think you're going to have a good time, but you got to go through all kind of security checks. You got the military on the ground, military hardware traveling all over the place. You got cops all over the place. You even got the military carrying rifles. You remember in Entebbe back in years ago, back in Monotony, well, I don't know if Monotony Begin was the guy, but in Israel, where they were killing and shooting the Olympic guys. And you'd see the television with military walking around, and you'd say, ooh, I'm so glad I live here. I don't have to go through that. Now that's basically what you see all over the country. You go into this game thinking you have fun, and you got the Black Hawks running around the sky. You got something connected to a camera all over the place. And if you look at it, you ask yourselves, how can you enjoy a game? And so I said, well, you're not worried about what the terrorists might do to you. Now you got all of this. What kind of freedom is this? You can't laugh or do nothing kind of out of the ordinary because somebody might think it's an act of terrorism. They got you watching each other. So, oh, here's something strange going over here. Now this is strange going on. And all of these things happen. In the worst case scenario, somebody gets through with an act that destroys. Well, you know what that is about. Take out all number of people, whether it's one or a couple of hundred or 1,000 or 3,000. An act. And you say, well, we got to protect ourselves. And you think that this is protecting yourself. You have created the environment for terrorism to exist. And terrorism now stands tall on its own legs, scaring you to death. You give up all your freedom trying to stay alive for something that you continue to do every day. Create hell. Well, why do people do that? They do that because they do not know any better. Sometimes it's not as bad as security. You might just be talking about teachers who are underpaid. They work hard. They can't pay their bills. They're living from week to week or paycheck to paycheck. And I mean, they are some of the greatest people on the face of the earth. Teachers. You think a teacher is not as great as a football player or a basketball player? Somebody who teaches your kid who's probably going to be a scientist, who's going to be a fantastic genius or somebody, I mean, to give to the public the greatest service that they possibly can, and they get underpaid. They get paid a little taste of money while somebody running down the street playing football or baseball or basketball, reaping millions and millions and go across the world doing anything they want to do because they got the money. And their teachers at home striking, trying to get an increase. Well, this is what happens when you don't care about one another. This is what happens when you act like you lost your mind. Or this is what happens when you have lost your mind. But what I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, when a situation like this, it happens because God does not live there. God, G-O-D, capitals, creator, capitals, of all existence, does not live there. In other words, created a situation where those who were created decide that they want to become the master. You know, there's a story out a long time ago that this here thing didn't just happen on planet Earth. They said it happened in heaven. And there was some bigot up there decided that didn't like it. Don't like the way things are going. I'm going to take control. Found a third of the heavenly host decided to go along with it. But the boss up there wasn't playing that stuff. The boss said, you got to go, and kicked them out of there. Now, at that time, they weren't saying there was an earth someplace. Could have been. I'm not saying it was or wasn't. Could have been. So, whatever was going on up there, it's currently going down right here. Now, what happened to get it here? I don't know. But is it here? You better be sure it's definitely here. Now, there are people in America who disagree with the political situation here in America. Their answers, their cures, their hopes, their dreams are being squashed. And they blame political people who don't care about them. And so they get so upset, so angry, that they start hoping that another political voice will make a difference. And so they start putting their hope and faith in another political party, only to find that that doesn't work either. And so they end up don't know what to do. They just get deeper and deeper in believing that if they just knuckle down with their political opinion, they can outdo the people on the other side. Ladies and gentlemen, to make a long story short, human beings have got to be out of their minds. A few years ago, I used to do everything I possibly can to get your attention. I understand that we've been taught by environment, we've been taught by everything we see, touch, smell, and all that kind of stuff to become the, I don't know, useless individuals that we are. And we are very useless. And so it is what it is. But some of us believe differently. Some of us believe that every human being on the face of the earth was put here by another power on an earth that has everything in it, on it, or above it, seen or unseen, that any human being would ever need to survive. But not just to survive, not just to make it, but to live as if they were in paradise, to live as if they were in heaven, to live that every one of their dreams come true, to live as if they are free. Free to look up without worried about somebody saying they're jumping down. Free to jump down without somebody saying they're jumping up. Free to love without somebody trying to steal it and turn them into hate. All of these things is undoubtedly the most precious that human beings could ever aspire to. I know this for a fact. And I don't want to just speak about it. Many times in the past, I've traveled the country, tried to share this information with people, put it in books and pamphlets and brochures, and spoke on public arenas, churches, street corners, anywhere I could. Cable access, radio, internet, Facebook, MySpace. And I noticed that nobody was interested in anything that I was saying. It's like I was speaking about life, and they said, what, life? Oh, I don't hear that. Just let me look at death. And I say that because you look at topics that had nothing to do with life. I mean, tell a joke, say anything. Overnight, you can get 1 million clicks. Somebody on Facebook or YouTube trying to look at that. A joke has no relevance whatsoever about anything, but it made you laugh a little bit. But things that have been projected to set you free, don't even want to touch it. But over there, a number of people out there complaining now. They are complaining about everything. When I come to you speaking about stuff, I didn't just start talking. You were complaining about it. I mean, thousands and thousands of people on social media complaining about what's going on, and who's doing what, and who's doing this. And everybody complaining about themselves, and they got others complaining about them. Oh, man, it's a big mess, a big mess. So I started looking for where are the people who are talking about solutions. Now, I'm sure there's several out there. To be honest and tell you the truth, I've run across maybe one or two. And that's all. And some of them get a little attention, but as far as change coming about, there is no change just for the positive. Things are getting worse and worse every day. So I've committed crime to let you know that my mission, I'm not going out here trying to blow up myself and a whole town of people because you didn't listen to me. And I'm upset, and so I think you should be punished too. I know these things couldn't happen unless we all went along with it. But hey, it's all on your time or my time. My time is I'm not lifting a finger to do that. I lift a finger and take break a law that's been set up to protect the system or any system that's defiant of God. I break a law. I've done several. Check the history, check the records. I break laws for purposes. I would want you to go and check the record. Did he do it? Yes, he did. Why did he do it? I want you to know right here. Because it was important to me. It was important that you know your creator. Not this joker that's messing around with your mind, but that you know freedom. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I've done it all. I've ran for president 2 or 3 times, United States Senator, Congressman, Governor of the state of Minnesota, mayor of a couple of cities. And I've been laughed at everywhere I've gone. But the last crime I committed, which was about 17 to 18 years ago, and I ended up going to Stillwater Prison in the state of Minnesota. I was given a year. Oh, I committed a couple crimes to put me in a position that they were trying to not glorify me by putting me in prison, but I kept doing my thing. So I kept violating what they would say. If you don't do this, then we'll keep you out of prison. But keeping me out of prison wasn't serving my purpose. So getting me into prison, I have hoped would. So anyway, I ended up that last year in prison in 2000 when George Bush and became president of the United States through the same old crooked, evil way. And so I remember the day that I was supposed to be released. It was September the 11th, 2001, and my wife was coming to pick me up from prison. And I was just thinking to myself, why am I going out of this prison? Why am I leaving? At least everybody here has violated some rules for different reasons, but they violated some rules, meaning that they have not been bound and chained down and stomped down to the point that they would just take it, that they wouldn't do anything. They just take. And even there, the message that I brought was not received. But yet they got a chance to do. So I'm asking myself, why should I go back out in this community? There's nobody concerned about peace. There's nobody concerned about prosperity beyond the talk. Will they lift a hand to do something about it? And I'm not talking about protecting me. I'm talking about all of us. I'm not talking about just some of the people. I'm talking about all of us. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it brings me to this point that I'm going to this hospital and I'm going to lay on this table trusting that these people will be able to do their job well, and maybe I will come through. But as I think about that, I ask myself the question, come through for what? For this junk? Do you see what's going on in the world? Do you see what's happening in America? Do you see the hate in America? Did you see the President of the United States making a State of the Union address where half of the world, not just half of the nation, but half of the world thinking he's a liar? And what is he standing up there for? And you got the rest of half of this, woo, elated as they could be. This guy knows what to do. Screwing over other people. Hey, all right. We're going to be looking good. And I don't care what you say, it's going to be that way. You're going to have your own kids thinking that stuff like this is going to work for them. Why? Because they want money. What is money? Money to them is a God. They don't see it as that. They keep saying they know God, but money is a tool that God gave them. God ain't gave you no money, baby. I don't know who fed that lie. But anyway, they use money. They say, with money, I can do what I want to do. I can buy this, I can buy that, I can do this, I can do that, I can go here, I can go there, everything turn me loose when I got money. I can even break the law and get over on the law because money will help me get paid out. Whew! That money, something else. Then they trap you with the law. So the things that they have established that allows, say, 1% of the population to own more wealth than half of the rest of the population. To maintain it that way. And if you can't step in the way they have designed it to step in, and that is to giving up your life, to give up your freedom to promote theirs, or put it more bluntly, to promote a lie, then you're going to be on the outside trying to picket, going on strike, creating terrorism, all of these things because God does not have any room in the lives of your environment. So I sit down preparing to go here, and I ask myself, why do I want to come back here? Why do I want to get up off a table and walk back in a cesspool? Do you guys know what a cesspool is? A cesspool, go look it up in the dictionary. I don't want to talk about it here, but that's what it is, a cesspool. The United States of America is a cesspool. Russia, a cesspool. China, a cesspool. I'm just mentioning these few because you've heard these mentioned before, but they're all cesspools. The world is a cesspool. That doesn't mean that what we consider some good things are not happening, but somewhere I heard that when you take all the good things that could be done in the U.S. and every other nation in the world, if you took all that goodness, it would be as filthy cesspool rags compared to the way things are supposed to be. And the way things are supposed to be are simple. They're not complicated. They're so simple that a child can understand it. That's why you got so many laws and stuff to make it appear complicated, to make it appear something that you can't do, to make it appear as though it's the gift of the gifted who are using you, justifying you being a slave and they being your boss. Woo-wee. Look here, how old are you? You older people? You got a job? You've been working your butts off, haven't you? Working hard as you possibly can. And every now and then you hear somebody say, well, all you got to do is just work hard and everything. Work hard. Where did that crap come from? Oh, they said you're going to have to work by, progress by the sweat of your brow, suggesting that you're going to have to. That's what the slave told you. And that's true. That's what's all happening. But I'm looking at this world that's so beautiful, this earth that's so magnificent. And the human beings who, you know you're humans, you know you're connected because everything that one needs to survive, the other one does as well. Food, everybody needs it. Who in the world does not need food? Not a single person stand up and say, I don't need food. You might not be in the caviar and the shrimps and stuff like this currently, but I guarantee you in a different kind of world, you can eat what you want to eat. And if you don't want to eat, you don't have to. Everybody needs what? Shelter. In Minnesota, man, I think this thing brought down my critical situation. Out there shoveling snow, as old as I am. I remember running for the mayor of Woodbury. I said, one thing I promise you, if you make me mayor, all you people that are sick, all you old people, when it snows like that, you don't have to worry about that snow in your driveway. I will make sure that the county comes down there and clean out your driveway. And I guess they laughed at me. Well, I got a couple of votes, but not enough to be recognized. Anyway, everybody, excuse me, there's a phenomenon going on in this country, I don't know about the rest of the countries today, where it seems everybody's catching the flu. Children, babies, old folks, people pregnant, babies still in the womb, dying because of this thing. Everybody having just sick. It almost seems as if someone has turned loose a virus in the United States to create destruction, just to start wiping out the population. I mean, it could be no different if Russia has done it, China has done it, or some terrorist activity has brought it about. It's happening. And I'm sitting here thinking, people need that shelter to stay out of the elements. But that's not all. People want to be progressive. They got to educate themselves about things that they've done, learn from what you've done as an individual, learn from what you've done what others have done from their work. Just Educate yourself. Educate yourself to use your tools so you can make better choices with the choice that you've been given. But the whole purpose, ladies and gentlemen, that I've mentioned before, is that in all your choices, and everybody got their choice. Sometimes they'll go and put their choice on the side and go along with somebody else's choice. But it's choice. Choice. And all of this choice is as filthy cesspool rags. But that's where we are. So you say, I got to come back out in this. Then you think about how essential it is that people who are sick have health care. And you know, you got people walking around them taking away health care. Taking away health care from kids. Taking away health care from old people. Taking away health care from individuals who don't have a lot of the cash to pay for it. And proud. I mean proud. They're saying we got to conserve. Everybody can't live. Everybody can't eat. The whole world can't be eaten. That's going to mess with my eating. The whole world can't have the access to this or that. That limits mine. And I need to build barns. Let my barns overflow. Make me be important. I am somebody. Look at all I got. Can you believe it? Boy, this is human being for you. This is human being for you. Now, so they take away your health care. Now look what you're going through. Is this going to make life better for anybody? Yeah. With those snakes at the top. And I say snakes at the top. And I say snakes at the top because the rest of you are snakes as well. As I see it. And I'm saying this because of this. All right. Somebody say, well, I don't know how all of the stuff you're talking about can be done. I tell you that simple, ladies and gentlemen. If every individual needs these things to survive, then every individual is entitled to engage themselves in the process that produces and creates exactly what I have just said. So that means everybody needs a job. You can call it a job. I call it a career of your choosing. I call it your greatest joy. Nobody look at a football player and think that a job is a job. They know they go out there and practice and hustle, but they know they love doing it. Is it why they love doing it? Maybe it's for just to be out there doing it. Maybe it's for the rewards of money. But whether it is or not, to be good, you got to like it. You got to enjoy it. And so I say to every individual on the face of the earth, you were given a gift that's essential for the process for which I have just spoken of. And no one person, not one gig is more important than that of another. I mean, whether you are a teacher, football player, ditch digger, or toilet cleaner, your job is as essential for the process of heavenliness as any other. Oh, my Jesus. And you don't have to work yourself down into the ground. You don't have to do everything. The gift that you have is your direct contribution to the process. You engage yourself doing the thing that you love most. And in so doing, you will create, my friends, my sisters and my brothers, my children, you will create enough food to feed the world 10 times. You will create enough clothing and shelter to cover the entire population of the world over 10, 15 times. You will create the reality for education to meet the needs. I mean, I can't even think of a way to say it. Health care. Oh, you never have to worry about that. In fact, you'll probably come up with a way to fight against sickness. Yes, you will. You'll come up with a way to fight against sickness. And one other thing you'll be able to do is to fight against aging. You'll be living forever, it seems like, and you're looking beautiful like I used to look. I'm an ugly sucker now, but I used to look pretty good. And you used to look pretty good. But right now, look at your pictures. Look at the movie stars. You remember when they were on their prime? You remember these guys, they were so debonair, so together, and all of a sudden, you look at them a few years later, and they look like, what? What in the world is that? You think they like that? You think they get up out of bed in the morning time running outside? No, baby, they come outside, but they looking, oh, Lord, don't let them look at me like that. Maybe they won't remember who I am. All of that. And ladies and gentlemen, all of this, food, clothing, shelter, education, healthcare, I mean, you can't measure how the availability is there for the Haitians, for those people who's living over in China. You know, we always say China's messed up. They say they're coming along, but we say they're messed up. But those people who are living in Puerto Rico, When those people who endure the tsunamis, those storms, those wildfires, oh, it doesn't mean anything when you're when you're living on the right plane. I'm telling you, my friend. I'm telling you, when you are free, and that freedom is working not just for you, but for everybody, then thy will can be done on earth as it is in heaven. All of this talking is nothing that we go through every day is nothing but talk that maintains the status quo. Republicans and Democrats and what? Democracy and socialism and communism is nothing but filthy, dirty rags that's been wallowing in a cesspool since the beginning of time. And anybody that's still in it ought to be ashamed. But they're not ashamed because they don't know nothing about the beauty. They don't know nothing about the sweet perfumes, the sweet harmonies of life. Because they've been lied to and bought it. Now, I'm not trying to put anybody down for this. My whole mission has been to understand. And I understand because I used to be just like that. But I had an introduction to God. Somebody say, well, why didn't I have an introduction to God? You wouldn't have been satisfied. You see, to be introduced to God means that whatever you've heard about God doesn't matter anymore. Now you become one who are a physical representation of God, because that's the impact it has on your life. It has that on your life because something has happened that no human being, no group of human beings could ever do. But once you have that kind of relationship with God, you have a responsibility, because you look out at the world and you can see the world just like I see it, a cesspool. You see all these filthy rich people with their trillions of dollars as nothing but cesspool keepers. Always they got a lot of money. They are cesspool keepers. Your racists who consider themselves the number one people in the world, cesspool keepers. Haters, cesspool keepers. Now, you look at a world like that where diamonds and gold and silver is so unimportant till you make street signs made in diamonds or silver, whatever those precious jewels are. They're not important to say they're mine. No, public display. Maybe some of the sidewalks might have jewels as you walk down the sidewalk. They're just there for you to enjoy the beauty of what they do for you. Not at home in a vault, talking about mine, I can wear it, but you can't. And making it seem like they're so important, people are stealing, killing, trying to get their hands on it. The whole dead blasted world, my friend, the whole dead blasted world could enjoy heaven. Doing all of these things. But there's one lesson that's missing. It had nothing to do with first grade, primary, or middle school, or high school, or college, or so on and so forth. This is the message of life. The message of life is that everything that you think you know and everything you're doing is nothing but the actions and the stepping stones that leads you straight down to the middle of the stinkiest part of the cesspool. That's all it is. And so when I think about how wonderful this world could be, how the design has been set forth so that could happen. So not only me, but you. Not only my children, but your children. Not only my color, but your color. Not only my gender, but your gender. Not only my age, but your age. All can go to bed every morning. Well, let's say wake up every morning. Very excited about the opportunity to put forth their gift to add to the manifestation of this great heavenliness. Nobody killing, nobody stealing, nobody lying, nobody cheating. Simple matter. Is that what's happening in your world? So I'm laying on this here table probably in a couple hours from now, going there with the question in my mind. This medical procedure takes place. It's a successful procedure. I get up off this table and I turn around and I look at this great big old stanky tail cesspool where everything you think you're doing to help somebody, the things that you think you're doing, your food shelves, your soup lines, your what you call them, what American Legions. No, not American Legion. People how get burned up and they go to try to get some help from these different sources. Right now, you just and I'm thinking about this and getting up out of walking back into this cesspool, knowing you just spent 67 years, fella. Nobody's interested in peace and prosperity and joy and happiness and dreams coming true. No, they say they are, but they will not lift one finger to do it for all. They make sure it try to happen for them, and that's it. And I'm getting off the table, walking back into this. I pray to that God that they still wants me around here to give voice. I don't argue. But to just get up off that table, nah. If I got any fears, my fears is being going under. Getting these needles stuck in my body. I don't like pain. That would be my fear. But once I'm out, I don't know what's going on. I have nothing to contribute or to take away. And so I'm thinking to not get back off that table unless I'm coming out with my toes pointed up toward the sky. Coming out that way is almost a blessing. Because there might be some place else for me, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking to go to heaven. I'm not looking to live forever. I just want to enjoy whatever is now. Whatever is now. And if I can't enjoy whatever is now, then there's nothing worth living for. No future, no past worth living for if I can't enjoy what I'm living right now. And if what I'm living right now is an expression of the things that I have control of, then whoever's controlling any and everything is in your hands. But if the master finds purpose to get me up off that table and put me back into the cesspool, I'm going to tell you, this boy is not sitting down. There's no way in the world I'll let a lying, no good son of a mother, a son of a daughter, have me caught up in a situation where I'm hating you because I can't live free. No, it's going to make me do everything I possibly can to be there. So when the pain and the suffering come to you, I can point it out, tell you brought it on yourselves. Look here, when you see those at that football game, at the Super Bowl, all those tanks and all that security about you, so if you fart real loud, you might get arrested. No freedom. If you run around and kiss your baby on the cheek or something like that, they don't know what you might be doing, you might get arrested. No freedom. No peace, togetherness with one another. No just playground experience. Yeah. So, I've done, as far as I can see, all I can. I have been faithful. I have walked the walk. I don't have anything. I haven't amassed anything. I don't have a bank account. And I have not, don't have properties out there. You know, some of the worst things I hear on the television in the morning time is, why don't you own buildings? And trying to talk you into ways to get caught up in that scheme. No, I don't own anything. And I sacrifice myself because the truth is superior to me. Not only that, as my family, as my sons and my daughters, I sacrifice them because the truth is more beautiful for the world than it is for one or two. Does that mean I don't care about my kids? You darn right I care about my kids. They say, well, you didn't give them anything. I gave them my life so that they could have a better life if they could wake up. To wake up means to become a part of the solution. Stop fussing. Start doing. And making sure that what you're doing is received as being righteous, because it's not just for you or some, but it's for everyone. I don't need you biting your tongue about that. When you can say that, when you mean that, when you got the evidence, when you go check the court records, when you go see how many times I've been in jail, see how many times I've been in prison, see how broke I am, see how people despise me because I haven't put my hand to trying to be a part of this junk. then you'll see just how much I'm hated, how much I'm disrespected. But am I hated enough to be killed? Not yet. I've been working on it. You know, kill like Jesus for doing good. Kill like Gandhi for doing good. Kill like Dr. King for doing good. Now, there have been so many others who've been killed for the same reasons, but I'm highlighting these guys because they will live forever. Abraham Lincoln, they will live forever. So this is why I'm saying like them. Whatever purpose they have, if it's just to be a memory here, I'm not even worried about a memory here unless it can help somebody. So I guess I have had a talk with my kids that live with me about the possibilities. I haven't had that conversation with my wife. She's one of those you can't talk that kind of stuff with. Nothing bad about her. It's just that you just can't talk that kind of stuff with her. Children, they sit back and listen to dad. Wife, think you out of your mind. But I'm not serving in this capacity to jump off God's wagon to satisfy somebody else's selfish wagon. No, I'm not like that. And so to you, the American people, if I don't get off that table, I don't know what impact it'll have on you. But I want you to know that this life has a purpose. And it's to teach you that all of your choices are there because you were given these choices. And what do those choices do? They give you an opportunity to disagree with God. To disagree with God. To believe that just because you can't see God, that you got the right to do your own thing, regardless to the results. I, my friends, have concluded that it's in your hands. It's in the individual's hand. Not the group, it's the individual. The individual has to change before the group will ever think about it. They say, well, you changed. Did it do an effect? Well, it worked for me because I don't care if I get up off that table or not. In fact, I'm not looking forward to it unless the powers that be can use me for something. And so I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, it's been one hell of a road. When I didn't care about anything, when I was locked up being a part of the problem, it seemed like everything was all right. But as I started maturing and growing up, becoming a man, I started seeing things as they were, and I didn't want to act like a fool or a kid anymore. And I saw what was going on, and I found out that everybody else was going through the same things that I'm going through. But when they're looking for solutions, they're still sticking to their choice. Because the master didn't confront them. And I don't know why it didn't, why the powers of life had not confronted them in that way, like it did me. But they tell me that the reason is because if you confront everybody the way it did me, then the choice is really not yours any longer. Because you know God now. But you still have your choice. So exercise your choice. And when you find that big hell like this, the suffering and pain that your choice will not fix, then like those angels that were kicked out of heaven, when they go around with the devil and find out what hell is really like, they say, oh God, let me back into heaven. When we wake up, recognize what heaven is really like, we'll pray, oh God, help us to create heaven on earth. And you won't just be praying, you will actually be lifting your hands, using your mouth, using your feet, doing everything you possibly can to create heaven on earth. And you will, when you decide to do that, that will happen. And it will be finished. But for me, I'm going to go on that table. And what will be, will be. I just wanted to leave this with you before I go, because you are on my mind. And it's all about you. Bye-bye.